Don't you guys just love Christmas? Don't you also hate Christmas? All the consumerism, all the want, need, me. But don't you just love it when you really think about, like, the original Christmas was about giving to those in need, about serving, about being the light to those who are in the darkness, about the crystallization of Christ and energy, and we're going to talk about that today. Welcome to Forest Fairy. My name is Mary Moses. You are in the forest part of Forest Fairy. This is the office here. This is my 8-foot tall tree women and my Mad Hatter and some of my art and some allegories like a Christmas tree and an angel and Muppets and robots and beautiful magical things that speak of symbology. And learning that alchemy, as an alchemist, we learned that thought forms or communications from God are in the form Okay, I'm back. I hope it doesn't do that again. I turned my Bluetooth off. I don't know what's going on. My purpose isn't to make you believe what I believe. My purpose is to push you into you and for you to be powerful and you to be on the yellow brick road to Emerald City to get to the real world and the real truth and the real God and the real mirror of you. All right, so let's put Jennifer, and today is her special reading. I can feel her energy through the phone. It's like she's so excited. And we're going to get our treasure box here. And we're going to pick out whoever needs to be on your yellow brick road as a communication and symbology where you are. So this is just a fun way to get the heart of a child within the energy of this room right now. Because that's really important. The power that you have is joy, and joy comes from your inner child. That's why it says you cannot enter the kingdom of heaven unless you have the heart of a child. So that's why I do these things. All right, so you ready? Here we go. Oh, you know what? You get this. I'll tell you what that is in a minute. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you find me. Oh, you have a pretty emerald star ring. You have 3 Emerald City coins. This means, boy, we need to seek first the kingdom of God. A planet. A sphere. Did you know in sacred geometry that all the shapes put together makes a circle? It's one of the most powerful symbols you can imagine. This is called lichen. It's a natural antibiotic. You can find it on trees everywhere. Wonder why that was brought to you. You have Toto the dog, the lion, and Dorothy. So, you're a tall soul who is following the divine order of God in order to get your crown. And in order to get the crown, we have to stop being focused on the world and fearing the world and reflecting the world, basically. That's what the lion represents. It could also represent the lion's gate. But there's a lot of Trinity here. So you have 3 characters, you have 3 coins, and we will look into the looking glass and see what's going on, Jennifer. We also got 3 cards for you today. One is Zadkiel, which is prayer. The other is vibration, Gagaliel. And the third one is Hamied, and that is miracles. Look how beautiful and how glowing it is. That's how I saw you when I closed my eyes. You're a glowing being. You have a lot of light. You just don't know it. Maybe you should can envision yourself as this glowing, colorful, rainbow, beautiful thing instead of seeing yourself as a face in the physical. And then you'll see yourself as being a little different. We're going to flip to a page that Spirit says is for you. And we're going to read from The Wizard of Oz, one sentence. "What shall we do?" asked the Tin Woodman. "If we leave her here, she will die," said the Lion. "The smell of the flowers is killing us all. I myself can scarcely keep my eyes open, and the dog is asleep already." It was true. Toto had fallen down beside his little mistress, but the Scarecrow and the Tin Woodman, not being made of flesh, were not troubled by the scent of the flowers. You know what flowers are? You know what those flowers are? It's pharmaceutical drugs, barbiturates. The poppy represents poppy, like a drug. So the witch had put Dorothy under a spell or a drug. And in order for her to awaken, she had to use her higher self, those who are not bound by flesh. So whatever that means, maybe you're around people. Maybe there's someone in your family who is addicted to pharmaceuticals or some kind of mind control or something like that. And I don't know. It's a communication to you. Let us anoint your piece with Mushi, our favorite butterfly, who reflects to you that we should be light as a feather or a butterfly, and to wear our luminous rainbow light body, and to get into frequency. A healthy human being resonates between 70 and 100 hertz, and a person with a compromised immune system or who is being fed upon by parasites, principalities, and powers may lose their frequency and diminish, which means that their power has diminished. Feeding your spirit is paramount, and your spirit needs frequency. Frequency comes in fragrance, words, colors, clothing, sound, water, negative ions, and a myriad of things. So studying about frequency helps you to feed your spirit and strengthen your ethereal net so that you are not bound and detained by the dark ones. Are you ready? I know you're already ready. You're like, well, get on with it. I want to see. All right. If I hear a song, maybe one word or one sentence is for you. So here we go. Is it getting better? Or do you feel the same? Would it make it easier on you now? You got someone to blame. They say, one love, one life, and it's one need in the night. We're one, but we're not the same. We got to carry each other, one. Did you come here for forgiveness? Did you come to raise the dead? Did you come here to play Jesus to the lepers in your head? There we go. You're the one, Neo. That's all they're saying. All the other words don't really matter. If you're the one and you're looking for your Trinity, it means that you are headed for the number 13. 1 and Trinity, which is 3, is 13. I already see you. You're right here. You're looking like this. You have a wizard hat that looks like a bird. you are you have a lot of energy coming out of your solar plexus. I would suggest when you're outside, go get a leaf, a green leaf, put the dark green part over your solar plexus and begin protecting your solar plexus a little bit. Here, you see all this zhu coming out of the solar plexus right here? So, you have these very large wings. You kind of look like what I saw in my imagination, but you're holding something in your hand that looks like a tower. You're holding something, and I'm asking Spirit to show me what you're holding. You have somebody above you. Also, you have a man below you and a man above you, below and above. And then there's a girl. She's saluting. Something about, and there's a school. There's a building. There's somebody here. You have somebody holding you up. Holding you. Their hand looks like a candlestick. I know what it means. If you're a pillar of God, you have a candlestick. Okay. Don't let other people partake of your energy by not letting okay. You need to practice invisibility when it comes to relationships. How we were in the age of Pisces was we could just how am I going to word this? You have somebody tapping into you and they're feeding off of you and they don't know that they're doing it. And so we don't fight principalities and powers. We don't fight flesh and blood. We fight principalities and powers. And there's somebody putting their hand up your dress here. And this is where I saw the energy coming out here. And and it's almost like their hand comes out and is trying to take your hat off, or I don't know what's going on here, but it's like, so inside your body is a story that's being told. There's a soldier. He's holding a gun over his left shoulder. And he's standing here. And he is protecting your solar plexus. That looks like a doorway that energies are trying to feed upon. Let me just tell you, okay, so then this person has the name Ra on there for some reason. Okay, hold on a second. In this book, it talks about your chakras are gates. Certain gates, when they're opened, people who cannot feed themselves because they are addicted to sick fixations, self-indulgence, ignorance really. They feed on you because they can see your gate is opened on the unseen realm and you will go home feeling drained and wore out. But I'm not saying that you are in any way powerless, because this on your head is about many things. It means that you're becoming a student of mastery here. Hats are very significant. So the hats that are pointed are often that you are stepping into a tetrahedron fire energy, but that your hat is drooped over like this is the hat of Mithra. Mith-Ra here. And I'm going to have to explain that to you. But these gates, there's many gates that, see if I could find the page that talks about these gates. Come on, Spirit, show us where the gates are. Show us which page where we're talking about the chakras and the gates, and how when the gates are open, okay, so first of all, this is talking about how to strengthen your ethereal net so that your gates aren't left vulnerable for principalities and powers to feed off of you. So I'm going to finish your piece, but I need to tell you this first. You have a yin and yang symbol up here. Practice. All right, this is what they're saying you should practice. You're going to be imagining certain lines, and you're going to pull them out from the side of your body. See how this is the side of your body here? These lines are coming out from the side of your body, beginning at the toes and continually all the way up to your head. You should feel these lines emanating from the soles of your feet, going downward and wrapping around the length of your body to the back of your head. And also other lines that radiate from your forehead upward and downward along the front of your body and to your feet, thus forming a net or a cocoon of luminous energy around your body. Practice this until you can let go of your physical body and place your attention at will on your luminous net. Eventually, you'll be able to cast and sustain that net with a single thought. You can heal parts of yourself by allowing your double to spread out your ethereal net by intending it, but not with your thoughts. Intend it with your intent, which is the layer beneath your thoughts. Listen carefully for it beneath your thoughts, away from them. Intent is so far away from thoughts that we can't talk about it. We can't even feel it. And so when Jesus said, let us cast our nets and be fishermen of men, he wasn't talking about a net that people think is like literal net, the master that walks on water. The master that walks on water is your biofield, makes the letter M at the top and the letter W at the bottom, master of the water. And your ethereal net is a net. And when you cast your net out, you have the power to do things that the physical world cannot do, including raising the dead and healing things. So what people interpret in religion about Jesus isn't true. It's more shamanic. It's more Egyptian. Egyptians have a group called the Masters of the Net. To be the master of the net is about the understanding of how to strengthen your ethereal net so that your intention can manifest. Because if you have no power, then your intentions will not manifest, especially if you have something feeding off of you. So let's continue to look. So you have this person, their head, something is coming out of their head, like energy coming out of their head. The reason this person is feeding off of you is because they're losing power from a very strange looking being that looks like this. So oftentimes people who don't have the eye of Ra, which means they don't have power, they feed off of us because something's feeding off of them. And today we're going to heal you and help you to understand how to maintain relationships in this world without allowing people to feed on you. So, you have to use controlled folly. You can't allow people to know what you think or feel. You're going to become an actor. Pretend you're a time traveler. Imagine yourself as somebody else. People ask you how you feel. Oh, I feel like Dorothy skipping down the road. How about you? Don't let people know how you really feel or think. Don't let them tap into you. Let them tap into your false self, the altered ego. So make yourself into somebody else, but never let anyone know who you really are and what you really think. And this keeps you a boundary between you and them. So this person has a parasite that looks like this. So it's like everyone's feeding off of everyone because of a parasite that they didn't know they had. All of us, none of us seem to know what's going on. We can't see. We've been blind for so long. And here you are, and here's your feet. And you're being lifted up by somebody who loves you. And I don't know who this is, but it's somebody who wants you to know that that you're being carried and loved, and you need to do things to protect yourself in this world. It's very important right now. So you have sacred geometrical shapes around you. You have a Moses parting water with his hands spread out. You have a bird. There's a battle. You're around a bunch of energies. A bunch. And this person has a pointed hat like this, and yours is curved, which means that you're being squared. You're being taught currently 1-1, and then this would be a 3. You're going to 13. There's somebody here. By the way, wonder what that means. You have a little rabbit here. Something bothers me that I don't see your animal. Is it a bird? Can your animal come forward, your higher self, which often manifests as an animal, but could also manifest as you? Come forward to reveal what energy you're in right now. So there's an animal up here. I don't know what it is yet. It's like a dragon. Everybody seems to have a dragon lately. I don't know if it's because it's the year 2024 is the year of the fire dragon or what. If we're all going through the baptism of fire like together or like what. But it's definitely a repetitive pattern here. I've seen the mushroom symbol twice. Something about mushrooms. Some soldier twice. Somebody saluting. You have this symbol here. You have your hand looks like a bird. You have the hands of the Holy Spirit. You have holy hands. You have the letter V. But you're currently a little bit allowing people to know you too well. You need to back off and just keep what is sacred, sacred. I think you're being shown like Moses, parting the waters, realizing that if you have the hands of the Holy Spirit, there's nothing that's impossible for you. You have the ability to do what God says. And if God says part the waters, you will be able to do that. So you're going through a parting, something that is parting you. Literally, you being pulled away from certain people or certain worlds. And it's a divide. You're smiling and you have a man carrying you. However, there's something about someone tapping into your solar plexus. So I know that you only have an hour. Don't worry, this is recorded. But I really need to look and see exactly what is going on here. Because Spirit, thank you so much for showing us the blueprint of Jennifer's solar plexus. Could you be a little bit more specific about her solar plexus and about what is going on with her energy, her biofield especially? Thank you. And what do we need to do to see her in her true form without all the influence of all these things here? Okay, here we go. So you're like a pretty little Tinkerbell with a hair in a bun like this. Oh, you look so cute. You have your inner child here. You're dancing. You're here. Your arms go like this. And you're like this. And there's this planet that has rings around it here. You're putting your hand on it. You have something like this. Your legs go like this. Your other leg goes like this. You have rings around your... Oh, it's Saturn. Okay. And then this infinity, you have your foot in between the infinity symbol. So the bottom part is your physical self. The top part is your double. And your foot is your soul. And you're going through the divine marriage of flesh and spirit. And this makes the face of an owl. So flesh, spirit, and the face of an owl, they haven't quite connected yet because you're going through the soul process. So this owl It's also your invisibility mask. It looks like a mask. And your hands, it's almost like you're trying to levitate or do something. You're like learning to do things. You have this strange 7-pointed star above your head. You're actually seated on a very big horse, unicorn. Dragon. And there's strange beings that are cloaked here. They have a strange symbol. There's a volcano. Heat comes up from it. So, I don't know much about planetary alignments, but whatever is affecting your solar plexus is connected to a frequency or a program emitted from what seems to be Saturn. One soul is your higher self. The other soul is your physical self, and they're cut in between here. Something is trying to separate them. Now notice how this volcano, you're putting your hand over it like this. Scientologists believe that a piece of our soul was put into a volcano somewhere. And the idea is to audit that soul back in order to get all of the pieces of ourselves back. So it's like there's a piece of something, and I'm not sure if I believe this, but Xenu, they said Xenu was this god from 7 billion years ago who took Sorry, I saw myself glitch there. There's a cloaked being looking straight at that volcano. And then yet here you are with your hand on Saturn and your other hand on a volcano. And then, so let's look at this. See how it looks familiar. Look at how your hand is on a face that looks like maybe a planet, right? But your other hand, I can't see it. It's almost like you have a hand behind you over here. Your bun on your head makes a symbol of the sun. The symbol of the sun is a circle with a dot in the middle. You have the 7-pointed star. You have Ra here. Mithra is the 7-pointed crown. Mithra. You have a hat that looks like the hat of Mithra. Your dress looks like the eye of God, which is the Ra, which is the eye of Ra or Hathor. Oh no, Horus, the eye of Horus. There's a horse. The eye of Horus, right here. Your dress is the eye of Horus. Yes. There's something about you. Some people were cut from their animal. You know, Mithra cut the bull, and the bull was his higher self. So we were cut, flesh from spirit. And this is the face of the owl, the soul, spirit and flesh. The soul, flesh and spirit. I'm not sure I understand this. But we're going to do another piece on canvas for you to see exactly who you are, and maybe we can put the pieces back together. So you have the Eye of Horus, you have Mithra. For those of you who are listening, we're going to do a little understanding of the god Ra before we go on to Jennifer's canvas piece to exactly see who she is. Like, for some reason, she has her hand on Saturn and the other hand on a volcano. And her solar plexus has the Eye of Horus now. She may have been healed. Because see, the head of Ra, see, the story goes, Isis birthed Horus to get the Eye of Ra. So here is Ra. Here is the Eye of Horus, which is a horse. But Saturn is blocking the Eye of Horus. And there's something about that volcano that I don't understand. And the cloaked being, I don't see these cloaked beings as being good people or good energies. I see them as being I don't know. I'd have to ask exactly what they are. But let me show you what that symbol is right there. It looks like this. M with a line and a stick in the middle. I don't know what that is. So, isn't it funny? You have this, and you have the stick in the middle, something in the middle of things. So anyway, let me tell you about the god Ra that I know about and how this goes to Mithra. The god Ra is the god of the sun, but that's not his name. His name actually is Ar. Ar is the god from Armenia that is also the god of the sun. The sun flips its magnetic polarity every 11 years. So 11 years we go through an upside down world where nothing is true. And in this nothing is true, we'll see the god Ra is not his real name. Until the sun flips its magnetic polarity every 11 years, then the real God comes forward and truth begin to speak to us. His real name is Ar. And so the god Ar is the god of the sun. He's not a person, he's a place. He's a description of a place. It's a place of illumination and a place of truth. So the god Ar is from Armenia. This is where the ark was found, on Mount Ararat. And Jesus spoke Aramaic. And Mary. And the myth of Ra. Mithra always wore a hat that looked like this. But Mithra had a 7-pointed crown, like the Statue of Liberty. The Statue of Liberty reflects that we live on 7 continents, 7 seas, 7 days in a week, 7 colors to the rainbow, 7 chakras, 7 wounds of Christ, 7 spirits of God, 7 musical notes, 7 metals, 7 generational curses of Cain, 7 heavens, 7 deadly sins, 7 wonders of the world, 7 lions in the den with Daniel, 7 locks of Samson's hair. It goes on and on. So the 7-pointed star of Mithra is literally the Statue of Liberty. And the Statue of Liberty is Mithra. Basically, it's androgynous, both male and female, where Mary self-impregnated. And they are immortals. So they Mithra is Jesus, and Zoroast. So Mithra comes from Armenia, Jesus, Jerusalem, and Zoroast from Iran. And all three of these were born of a virgin. All three of them died and resurrected. All three of them had the exact same story. All three of them say, drink my blood and live forever. And all three of them come from near Transylvania. Like a vampire. So anyway, they are considered the immortals. And so to understand the god Ar, which is the sun, really, you have to understand what his wife is. So the wife isn't really a woman. She's a place. And her name is Haya. So what you have to understand about Haya is Ha means earth, Ya means moon. So really, Ar is sun, his wife is earth that dominates the moon. So it's Ar Haya, right? But her original spelling of her name was Hala. So when you're looking at Va, like vampire, Va Hala, it was Hala, Haya Hala. They changed her name to Haya. It's really Haya with a Ya with the two L's. They changed her to Gaia. Anyway, her name spelled backwards is Allah. They're just a place. They are a place of awakening and illumination and an energy that helps you and all of that. And they are immortal, but they are a place. And so you have that. That's very, very prominent in your piece. For you to have the Eye of Horus, the story goes, Isis wanted the Eye of Ra, and Horus has the Eye of Ra. She birthed the Eye of Ra. You're birthing the Eye of Ra. You're birthing the Eye of Ra. Ah ha ha. What in the world? You're birthing the Eye of Ra. And because of that, there are principalities and powers that are going to try to stop you. There's going to be a battle, and you have to protect the gift that you're going to be given with all of your might by seeking first the kingdom of God, and through awakening and through knowledge. Really, knowledge is so important when it comes to seeing that God is talking to you all the time. Through symbology, through numerology, through people, and one day you're going to rise in frequency where everyone you meet is a piece of God, and you're going to be so happy there. But until we get there, you're going to be fighting energies that are trying to keep you from this birthing of the Eye of Horus. Right here, little ballerina. And so this is the sun. So this is Ar. This is Ra. This is the Eye of Horus. Uh-oh, Saturn's blocking it. That's a jerk. And yet I don't understand this down here. Or this. But maybe we will in your third piece. So that's the way it works. Let's do the third puzzle piece and we'll figure this out. And so what we want to ask Spirit is to give you an anointing. And that is what? To crack the mirror of illusion and bring forward the mirror of truth. Authenticity, illumination, light, the anointing of the Holy Spirit. Flesh doesn't know anything. Spirit knows all. Spirit is immortal. Spirit knows that your consciousness, your memories will one day bounce to that immortal body and you will never die. So what do you really look like? Who are you really? What are you here for? On your mark, get set. Have I told you lately that I love you? Have I told you that there is above you. You fill my heart with laughter. You burn away all that sadness. Bring me comfort, that's what you do. Yeah, I don't understand it. You're like this Moses character, but you're a female. And you're walking like here, and there's waves on both sides. And you're walking in between the waves. You're parting the waters. Your arms make the part. You're like, and your hands make a mudra. But this hand is facing down. And these are waves on both sides. Your hair is making waves. You are all this water here. Water on this side, water on that side. Your entire hair makes waves. There is a beautiful horse here. Aw, Horus. Oh, it's the birthing of Horus. It's a little baby horse. What? What is going on? It's a little baby horse. But they're not a horse. They're waves. There's a castle in the background. A place. There's a man standing in front of this place. There's a volcano. It has an arrow that, oh, it's that same symbol. I don't know what that means. There's a man kissing you. It's the divine kiss. It's one of the most significant symbols ever. There's another kingdom. There are lower kingdoms and upper kingdoms. All these kingdoms are being split. There's a splitting. This lower kingdom is like a box. But it's a wave. It's a volcano. It's a dragon. It's eating people that are stuck in the box. It says toast. There's somebody praying. Their hair is on fire. They have the Holy Spirit above their head. There's water everywhere. So, the people who are in a box, let me explain this. We'll put this here, we'll do another one over here. So I think I know what's going on. It's really good for you to get a reading to see what's going on with your energy and how certain people bring the influence of Saturn into your life that blocks the eye of Horus. And tries to take your fire, which is the Holy Spirit. They come like a thief in the night. You have very ancient energy on you. You have the sun god, which is what we talked about, the god R, which is also Ra. Right? So you're here to birth the eye of Horus. You came out of the box. I will say that the dragons, when you're in the box, you're in a prison. It is a protection, but it's also a prison. It's not behind every pleasure and every pain is a sacred geometrical shape. Some shapes reflect pain, some shapes reflect pleasure. When you open the box, you've been set free from the prison, which makes a cross. Those who have not opened the cross within their heart are eaten by the dragon. It doesn't mean that they are doomed to eternal hell. What it means is, in alchemy, to be eaten by the dragon means that you have entered into the halls of God. It means that you will be brought into a place of understanding and a place of awakening, and you're not there anymore. You've been set free from that. So notice how your hand is blocking prisoners. So you're learning on one hand, the yin and the yang, the dark and the light. On one hand, you're learning how that there are people who are in a prison of their own device. They reflect the eye of the physical eye. They do not have the eye of the Holy Spirit. They are not an oracle. They are very limited, and you do not need their eye on you. They have the evil eye. To have the evil eye, is a hex on you. So you need to block all people who have not awoken, who have not gone through this divine marriage. You need to be invisible at this time. So you're blocking prisoners and you're protecting your kingdom. You have 2 kingdoms here. I'm not sure why. And the male and the female is your divine marriage, flesh and spirit. Just like the piece here, flesh and spirit, the infinity symbol. It's almost as if flesh and spirit, you're the middle. You're always in the middle. You're always in the middle. You're in the middle. You part the waters of dark and light. You're about balance, really, and you have a lot of water energy. So you're here to birth the Eye of Horus and to take our minds like a wave out of a spiral, which is a spell, and to release prisoners, because you have somebody here behind your hand stuck in a prison. So I think you're here to release the divine feminine out of a prison using the Eye of Horus, which is really, you're the mother goose. Now the hand pointed down is a rabbit. So the rabbit is the moon. The rabbit is the hair of Noah. The rabbit is the number 11. The rabbit is the 2 towers. The 2 towers is the twin flame. The twin flame is your double self. And it's almost as if one of you is upside down, the other one was right side up, and you're here to release a piece of you out of a prison and help really to birth the Eye of Horus and to step into your mastery, which is the number 13 right here. And your foot is the foot of this horse. It's very interesting, isn't it? I don't know all the answers. But I will say, the mother goose is the letter M. And the mother goose is a higher world. I've been there. I've seen it. It is the great mother. The mother is the spirit world. And it looks like this. For you to part the waters means that you're here. Your Taurus field looks like an apple. The stem of the apple is parting the waters, right? The bottom part of your Taurus field is the water. Some people call it the Wicked Witch of the West. It is the illusion, and it is a place of pain. The letter M is the mother. You can call it the mirror, the master that walks on water, M and W. It is the mother goose. For half of you to be up here, the other half of you to be down here reflects that you are going through a major shift, and you have to block people who aren't going there. They will try to keep you under here. And so invisibility is the formula. The Eye of Horus is a sacred geometrical shape that was explained in a myriad of different stories. Egyptian mythology, Christianity, I'm not sure about the Quran, but Buddhism, all of it. They always talk about the eye. And really, it's just a very simple story that I don't know why it isn't told this way. You are a physical being, but you have an invisible self that you haven't become aware of. That invisible self is like you and them looking in a mirror. See, it makes that, if you split this apart, it makes two people looking at each other in a mirror, right? And you're getting to know your higher self. So this is the eye of the needle. The eye of the needle pointed down at 6 o'clock makes water. You're 75% water. It reflects your physical self. It could also be the baptism of water, which is your purification. When this goes through a flipping, it flips up to 12, which is fire. This is the flame. It is the baptism of fire. It is another purification that makes you white as snow. This takes you to eternal life. If we were in a prison of seven generational curses of Cain, 7 chakras, 7 days in a week, 7 continents, 7 seas, 7 colors of the rainbow, 7 spirits of God. The way out is 8. And that's because your Taurus field is the number 8. When you have the ability to balance your lower self with your higher self, the W with the M, you become the master who walks on water. The master who can be in the eye of Horus. That's the center of your biofield, of your energy. It's all about balance. So the eye of Horus is quite simply that your physical self and your spirit makes a sacred geometrical shape known as the vesica piscis. And this vesica piscis is the eye of Horus. So like an embryo, your eye of Horus is birthed. You're here to birth the eye of Horus by seeing your double and activating your double and using your double for great and mighty and powerful things, but especially and most importantly, to split away the old kingdom and bring heaven to earth. Releasing the divine feminine from prison, the divine mother goose, and finally, again, like an embryo, getting to the Trinity. You're the one, Neo, who needs Trinity. To defeat time, 12 hours, 12 months, 12 zodiac signs, and become a master of time is 13. It means the number 4, and the number 4 is the number 10. Why? Because 1, 2, 3, 4 added up together makes 10. This is how the ancients see numbers. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's a big 10-4. So, you're the one who needs your Trinity. Your Trinity is the triquetra. It looks like a rabbit. That's the one hand that you have that has the rabbit on it. But the other hand has a face that says 111. The magical square of the sun is 111. All right, so you have a lot of sun energy. And you're the one who needs your Trinity. All right, so that's your triquetra. The triquetra is blue, pink, and gold. It's about balancing. It's all about balance. Your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions should all be true. So let's say that you want to be powerful. Dear God, or dear higher self, I would love to be powerful. But then we don't use our breathing exercises. We don't eat sacred diets. We don't clean our relationships or our thoughts or our beliefs. And our actions may not align with our words. The Trinity is about aligning your actions with your words mostly. So clean your house, clean your car, clean your relationships, clean your beliefs, clean your emotions, clean your diet. Begin to know that your actions are a prayer. Feed the birds, water your garden, do all that stuff as proof that you are using symbology as a prayer now. You're beginning to see that all of the things that you do with your actions is a prayer. Where do you put your shoes? Are your shoes clean? Do you brush your hair slowly? Do you take good care of your body? Do you make your time and your body sacred? You're the holy temple. Are you using your holy temple to be holy? And if you look closely, you'll see that behind the triquetra is the holy dove, always hiding there, waiting for you to balance your words, your emotions, and your thoughts with your actions. All in the divine balance where you really become powerful. And oh my goodness, you start to feed your spirit when you follow life energy and leave all death energy behind. What is death energy? Self-sabotage, filthiness, dirtiness, toxic diet, angry thoughts, bitterness, ignorance, shame, narcissism, giving people your power and your energy, not preserving yourself. These are all actions saying, I don't want life energy. I don't want to know. So this is how we begin to awaken to see the invisible world. The invisible world really looks at your actions. Once you have met your Trinity, then you will go through the very last step, which is 33, backwards, your Kundalini awakening. The baptism of water meets the baptism of fire. Infinity symbol right here. It's the cross, where the holy dove finds your olive branch and you find your way home. The fourth heart chakra is green. It is Emerald City, M and W. And this is a story that is told in so many ways and has been misinterpreted, because literally this is the boat, this is the ark, where you can only enter 2 by 2 into the center, not being polarized by self-importance or low self-worth, seeing your double, and then birthing your Trinity. And then finally, your eternal flower and your home. The Eye of Horus that birthed into something eternal. Why is there a God called I Am, which is Yam? And he is the God of child sacrifice. Why sacrifice the child? It is not literal. We sacrifice in this physical world. We sacrifice for friends, family, our city, our country. It's a sacrifice to be here. And the purpose of this sacrifice is eternal life. If the Holy Dove awakens within you and manifests the Spirit of God within you. So it's kind of like the story of Achilles' heel. His mother put him in boiling water to make him live forever. It was an allegory. The 7 wounds of Christ are your 7 chakras. And the 7 chakras are 7 points of drainage until it's activated by the 7 spirits of God into 7 points of power. Yes, there was a character named Jesus that literally had 7 wounds, but he had to do that in order to create a timeline where we didn't have to literally be crucified. We could do it as a metaphor or an allegory. That's how black magic and white magic works. You do something in the physical to affect the world, and it can be used for good or bad. So you go to school to learn spelling or cursives with cursive writing. Your magistrate court is magistrate that summons you. And this is all part of understanding that everything that we do, action, thought, and word, is a curse or a blessing. And once we awaken to that, we can figure out how to use our mind, our thoughts, and our actions. Part the waters of dark and light, up and down, male, female, and enter into this Mother Goose world. I'm telling you, I swear it exists. It's incredible. Why there is a horse, a goose, and 2 kingdoms, I don't really know. What that volcano is, I don't know. I guess it's connected to the fire. of the dragon. Dragons always live in volcanoes, don't they? Is it the release of the fire? The release of the dragon? I don't know. Fire and water, flesh and spirit, that divine marriage makes steam. And you are here to part those waters. I don't totally understand how to say it, but I hope that this vibes with you and rings true. In order to become invisible, you have to be in the eye of the dragon, which is like the eye of Horus. And it goes like this. This is fire. This means that you have gone through the baptism of fire. It is the Holy Spirit that is trying to cover you and make you invisible. The Holy Spirit wants you to be illuminated with your illuminated light body and wants you to be in a chariot of fire, where the dark ones cannot see you or detain you. While you're in this Trinity, you're the one who needs your Trinity, you will begin to follow the white rabbit, which is the triquetra, to in all of your ways be purified, white as snow, and illuminated so that the dark ones cannot see you or detain you. The way to become illuminated begins with the stone. The resurrection stone is resurrecting pieces of yourself that have been lost for a long time. Going back into your past, remote viewing your past, breathing in the power that you gave away, and contemplating the scenarios of your life to see how you've been programmed. Recapitulation is the resurrection stone. Once you have gained enough power through the recapitulation, from there, you will begin to resurrect other people's thoughts, like telepathy. You'll become an oracle with the letter O who can see behind other people's eyes. You will learn from your higher beings that you should seek first the kingdom of God, because if you seek down here with these people in a prison, they will pull you down. You will feel their anger, their suicidal energy, their perversion, their bitterness, their addictions. You will feel it. And you may carbon copy those feelings onto yourself, because as an oracle, you're a mirror now. You're either going to mirror the dark ones, ignorance and falseness, or you're going to mirror illumination. So if you cast your thoughts unto heavenly realms, oh, well, you're going to get information and downloads, and you're going to connect with people and spirits and see behind their eyes, and you're going to be blessed with fantastic information. But if we seek first the kingdom of the lower realm, you will get just what you thought of. You will get anger, bitterness, ignorance, low vibes. So this resurrection stone doesn't just resurrect your past, it resurrects anything you want. But you don't want to resurrect the lower realm. You want to be in the balance. You need to be in the eye of Horus. That is the center, like Moses. And in between the two sides of your brain is the pineal gland, right there in the center. Once you have gone through the resurrection of self and others, you will go through the divining wand. The divining wand is divining what is the voice of God, what is the voice of artificial intelligence. I am. You will learn what is the false God, what is the real God, what is the living God, and what is the death God, what is the black eye, what is the white eye. And so this is the yin and the yang, dark and light, being able to see both heaven and hell, dark and light, as above, so below, and how to cast your thoughts appropriately so that you can maintain your balance and your invisibility. This is called the eye of the dragon. And it's really important to know how to collect power to stay into that, to remain in the eye of the dragon and not be out of it. because you're the one who needs your Trinity. AI, you are that is the opposite. That is artificial. You are IA. I am. So I think there's a lot more to this, but if you really look at the body of this, it makes a boat, which is the eye. Your solar plexus is in the eye. Your head is in the heavens. Your feet are down here. This is perfect. Your physical body must be bound to this physical world. You go through the body, and your solar plexus, which is the sun, is in the eye of Horus. And your head is in the kingdom of heaven through a divine marriage. Trinity. 1, 2, 3. You should feel so good after today. As far as your original reading goes, your body makes a note. And the top of you looks like a candle with a candlestick. The fire of the candlestick comes from the dragon. You're a pillar of God. The problem with many of us who are light workers, you're a light worker, a light being, and the Moses here, is we don't realize that people, even in our family and our friends, have parasites. And because they lose power daily because they cast their thoughts to the lower world, they feed off of those of us who do the work. And that's not okay. Do you see this man holding you up? Atlas was cast to hold up a world. He was sentenced to hold up the world. And so he was under the eye, under the world. When you flip Atlas upside down, it makes salt. That's purification. And when we go through the purification, we have been salted. And then we go through a flipping. So look at that as Atlas holding you up, which is you are like the earth. This is the sun. You're like the earth. This is the sun. So Ra, and you would be Ha, Raha. Because Yah is the moon. And I think that yeah, there's the eye. You have the eye of Horus for sure. You're leaving this world. And I don't mean that you're going to die. I don't mean that. I mean that you're leaving a prison. You're being set free. And in order to fully get out, you have to seek first the kingdom of God and get rid of these principalities and powers that are parasites. And I'm so sorry that they don't do the work. This is a fire symbol. That person's still putting their hand up your dress. I don't understand that part. Maybe it's a midwife birthing the eye of Horus. I don't know. But I will let you know that Saturn is Santa. And Santa has elves, and you look like an elf. And the elf is someone who is a gift or makes gifts for the world. You're a gift to the world. You're here to birth the Eye of Horus within you and leave everyone else behind. Go to the Divine Mother and Mother Goose and don't have pity on the world. Don't pity the dead, pity the living. Everyone is a mirror of who you were, who you are, or who you're going to be. Focus on who you're going to be. And that's why this art is here for you. It is literally helping you to go through this birthing without so much battle and fighting. And you have the hand of God. That hand is the hand of Atum. It's the Atom hand. You have ancient energy on you, especially from Armenia. Now, Mithra from Armenia, cut the bull, and the bull turned into the moon. So you have Mithra, which is moon, Ra, which is sun, and then Haya, which is earth. It's like crazy, literally crazy. You're here to release the female, the Divine Mother Goose. And this is a man here. Isn't it so funny how Dumbledore and all these castles always has this bearded man with a... Do you know why? Do you know why Dumbledore and Gandalf and all these wizards look like they do? It's a secret. I'll tell you what the secret is. Your face is a prison. This is the prison. The beard is the lower realm. It's the water. That's your physical body. It's 75% water. The fire is the spirit world. Until the face of the ego and the false self is diminished, water will always be separated from fire. Spirit will always be separated from flesh. When we diminish the false self, the wizard hat connects completely, and it makes a Merkaba. The number of the Merkaba is 144, and it makes the chariot of fire. The false self must be eliminated. It's called the deathless death. It's dying before you die, letting yourself go. And then the prison is diminished, and you can go anywhere you want. You're free. Feel free to take a picture, take a screenshot, and see that you have a Christ-like energy here. The Dumbledore, the wizard hat, the bearded man. The bearded man is Saturn. And Saturn emits a plasma that looks like a bearded man. And Odin is a bearded man with a wizard hat that had elves or dwarves. So Odin, Jesus, Odin, Jesus, Moses, all these bearded men, especially the ones with a wizard hat, they are all really an explanation of where we are. And that they are not people, they are places. They are a foundation of Pisces to Aquarius. I think you're very loved. I think that you need to know how beautiful you are. And know that you're not you, not the you that you see. You're more than that. I would get into Hamza's hand movements. Have you ever watched the OA where she did hand movements and it literally shifted timelines and certain things that she did with her body, especially with hand movements, shifted timelines. Where she woke up one day and the president that was no longer the president, it shifted. So there's something about that for you. If you can balance, it's as if you're releasing ancient power out of your DNA and you have abilities to do things. It looks like shifting kingdoms. Let this art speak to you for a little while. There's so much information here. I could go on and on. Yeah, it's almost like sign language. It does remind me of sign language, but it's Hamza's. So there's certain hand movements that reflect, let me show you, that reflect planets actually. There's certain hand movements that are literally talking about planets. So let me show you an example. This is where symbology is so important when it comes to understanding. So this is the hand of Pluto. It looks like that. This is the hand of Saturn. It looks like that. This is the hand of Uranus. It's upside down. So see the hand upside down? Yeah. Upside down. This is the hand of Jupiter. This is Mars. The first piece of art we saw was this hand. This is Mars. This one is Venus. See, it has the Eye of Horus. This one is Mercury. This one is the moon. It's like you're holding the moon symbol. This one is the sun with it spread out like this. This is the sun. So let me show you what Jennifer has. If you have your hands in this symbol like a praying hands, that this is Neptune, and it has an energy and a communication. Whenever I do your readings and you get this hand symbol, this is Neptune. This is Pluto. This is the one Jennifer has. It says, Pluto's realm is one of deep and undeniable power. Known as the planet of the underworld, Pluto has a captivating effect that pulls us into its depths, leading to all things excessive and Dionysian in nature. Images of the resurrection, possession, the sacred heart, birth, sex, and death are all symbols of Pluto's volatile energy. When this shows up, know that everything will be amplified as if through a live wire. It's all about power and maybe even addiction. Though Pluto's force field can be ruthless, this tiny planet pushes us toward necessary growth. When we follow its mesmerizing pulse, we are taken into the depths to be changed. There's no point in pretending that the underworld is not at work. Admit that you're in it and find the support you need. Not making it worse is a big accomplishment. So on one hand, you can see how Pluto is affecting this underworld, this prison over here. And then the other hand that is upside down I'm not exactly sure what that upside down hand actually is. If it's that one, it's Uranus. So when Uranus strikes, we are in for a surprise, not in the outer world, but within you, within yourself. So this one reflects the outer world. This one's the inner world. What wasn't possible before is now possible. Notice that this hand is connected to Horus, the great mother goose, the kingdom of heaven. Heaven. What? This is the hand. Follow the white rabbit, Neo. This has the white rabbit on it. This hand is Pluto. This hand is Uranus. This is the physical world, the male. This is spirit. So having this hand in this position is very powerful for some reason. What wasn't possible is now possible. Yay! Thanks to Uranus and its ability to shatter our preconceptions. This shift in perspective or identity brings newfound freedom and opens up dormant energy. Yes, I see that. Dormant energy. Yes. For an alchemist, this may be experienced as a long-awaited aha moment or a sudden stroke of genius. Inventions and innovations are born under Uranus energy. This card may also appear to show us that it is particularly unique about ourselves or another. A seemingly random quality may end up being the secret ingredient needed in the laboratory. The alchemist knows this radical energy isn't sustainable, and so the work is to show up each day whether or not Uranus strikes. This is a very, very good symbol. And look at the beautiful sharp angles that are also in your art. Look at that right there. That was in your art. All of these symbols, almost all of it was in your art. This is very powerful. It's very good. It's very positive. You should feel so much better after this reading. I'd like to know how you feel after this reading for sure, especially within the next week. So I wanted to remind you guys, if you wanted a reading from me, you go to forestfairy.com. And I put you on a schedule. There is a wait time currently. I read every other day because I take care of my grandkids and I have family time that I keep. And then I also run a business called Forest Fairy. Stephanie and I run a business called Forest Fairy. And so anyway, it's a balancing act for me. So just be aware that there will be a wait time. Okay, and you have to text me. You have to. Because there's too many imposters on here. People pretending to be me and people who are jerks on TikTok. Not to mention your TikTok name. Thank you so much. Hi, Yaya. How you doing? Loretta? She's my angel. I love her so much. I missed going live with you on some of these lives. We went live like at 1 o'clock in the morning one day. It was hilarious. But your TikTok name doesn't match your ordering name, so it's very confusing for me. To keep things real, to keep things authentic, you guys must text me, because if you email me, DM me, it's too confusing, too chaotic for me. I like to keep everything in one place. So that's just how I roll. So you have to text me. And just know that, see this line going straight across here? And then know that this is water on this side and water on this side. You can't see it because it's difficult to see. But this is about the parting. You are making a cross. Line, line. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 realms. And this literally is your biofield. Look at it. Your biofield right here. Male, female, male, animal, animal, animal. All this, all these symbols. Fantastic. Do you know how an alchemist... Let's see if I can find the book. Came up with these symbols? Let's see. Alchemy is symbology. You become an alchemist. You become an oracle. You get into scrying, and suddenly you're making strange images. Strange. symbologies that most people wouldn't understand. But when you begin to look at these hand movements, body language, crowns, fire, water, earth, moon, sun, divine marriage, frogs, roses, flowers, rainbows, you begin to see how God is speaking to you through symbology, through planetary alignments, salt, sulfur, mercury. And you begin to see that some people are in the eye of Horus and some aren't. And the ones that are outside of it, there's 4 realms, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then there's a protected place in the center. There's the Trinity. You're the one who needs the Trinity. And anyway, I encourage all of you guys listening today, become a scryer. Leonardo da Vinci did it. You will begin to see communications from your higher self and from God. And these communications will speak of horses and body language. This body movement right here, this is called the posture of death. See the bat above the head? You see that posture? See the body language? It is actually a language. See his body language? Look at the Statue of Liberty. One hand is holding the flame, the other is a book. This is a communication. All of it talks about our awakening, the tree of life. One hand going up, one hand going down. When you get into symbology, you begin to be very surprised at how we are cut 1, 2, and 3. Where Saturn rings go here. The bearded man without the hat. All communications. Atlas, under the earth, holding up the earth, which isn't really the earth. It's a simulation. 4 realms on the outside. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's incredible once you get into it. This one's called The Mystery Traditions, Secret Symbols and Sacred Art. And the other one was called The Study Course on Alchemical Symbolism. So I thought that I don't know what I was thinking. I have a third reading. And Stephanie, if you're still here, you do not need to be here the whole time. Please don't think that. Please don't feel that. I'm just trying to catch up because I had to reschedule a lot of people because my grandbabies were born. I had twin boys, and I've been very distracted. So I had to refund a couple of you and reschedule many of you. So I'm trying to catch up so that y'all aren't waiting for your art for too long. Thank you, Jennifer, for what you've taught us. I encourage you to get into alchemy and see how significant your piece is. Incredibly significant to have one hand up, one hand down. And it's a kiss of God is what you have here is the ability to hear God and to do the will of God will change your life. It will make you a master of your biofield, the master of the water. All right. So let me call my third appointment and I will be back. Thank you guys for being here and I hope to see you soon. Don't forget to follow me on my YouTube channel, Mary Moses Art. If you miss any portion of what I was teaching about these symbolisms, you can follow me on Mary Moses Art. I post these lives daily. So hope to see you there and we will see you back here in about 10 minutes. Thanks for being here. Bye-bye.